Hello to everyone. How you hear me? Well? Okay, nice. Um, then let's start our talking. Uh, Today we will talk about unstoppable era of the era of rise of tokenization assets. And my name is Oleg Kurchenko. I am founder and CEO of Binaryx.com. Binaryx is digital assets exchange with the tokenization platform, and we are building the blockchain depository for digital assets. A little bit more about my experience. I am entrepreneur and businessman with 11-year experience in software development industry, and I started I started building the software from university, from the second course, and the first time I hear about cryptocurrency in 2011, when one of my clients from Germany said to me that, he sent me the link on the blockchain talk and say to me that, okay, Oleg, you can learn more about Bitcoin, this is the future. I go on the blockchain talk, I learned something about Bitcoin. I installed my first wallet on my computer, start mining. But in few days, because of how all of us live in the rat races, I stopped doing that and go do my business, go do my stuff. And after that, only in 5 years, in 2016, I started my mining firm. And then after that, I deep dive in the cryptocurrency world, and almost actually more than 5 years currently, I'm developing the software for the cryptocurrency world, and we start developing the robots for trading. Then we start developing payment system, but actually our payment system called Patient, and we would like to give possibility to people interact with the cryptocurrencies like payment solution. But we understand that in the process of working under the payment system, we understand that people would like to use the cryptocurrency not like the payment solution, but like the asset. And this is the reason why we started Binaryx and start building the digital assets exchange. Under digital assets exchange, I mean that any asset can be digitalized, and this is the future, because that really boosts economic. And under tokenization, I mean transforming asset from the physical form or intangible form into digital form. And we are building the depository in what that asset can be stored, and with help of the depository, that asset can be easily transferred from one person to other person. And let's look on example of the company who would like to tokenize their asset. Like this is a hypothetical company, Venus Limited, with a capitalization of $10 million. And the steps for the tokenization is like, we understand, we're making the audit for that company. Then we understand there is the value of investments they would like to attract in their business. And we understand that they would like to tokenize 20% of their equity, and they we help them create 20 million tokens for their equity of 20%. And the last step is attracting the investments through the selling them by the crowdfunding sales, like ICO do, but we are doing that for companies who are already in the business and who are already show their sustainability, because this is the most important thing. And by that stuff, we give to the people and the companies, to investors in the companies, the next benefits. Like this is of course, increased liquidity for companies, and the automation process, because this is working on the smart contracts, and this is easily to do. And we help to reduce operational costs for attracting the investments through the tokenization. Because given the fair prices, we're giving the possibility to expand geography, because some companies are working on the local markets, but they are not, they cannot attract the investments from the abroad, because there is no possibility for them to work with those investors. But the tokenization of assets and the transforming them into digital form give the possibility to company sell their equity to anybody in the world. And of course, the benefits for investors is increased liquidity, fractional ownership, accessibility, no middleman, transparent process, and secured identity. Of course, the valuables that can be tokenized is the assets. We're talking about assets of the companies, what is currently on the balance sheet of the company, and services, funds, equity, shares, and etc. So I show to you what tokenization is and how it can be used, what benefits you can get from the tokenization. And right now, the time for show you numbers, why we think and why we sure that this tokenization is the next is the next step of the developing the blockchain industry and developing the cryptocurrency industry. Because right now everybody talking about DeFi, about NFT, and nobody talking about tokenization. We understand how to do that, and we understand there is like a big opportunity for people, because there is a lot of people currently. Yeah? Yeah. My friends will help me. Okay, there is a big opportunity for people to do that, because like 1/3 of our planet population is the Generation Z. Generation Z is the people from 1998 year born, and there is 83% of those people are show the keen interest in the cryptocurrencies and the tokenized assets. This is the data from our analytic department, and 83% of those people thinking like the tokens and the cryptocurrencies will be the new way to pay. And 64% from them are more likely to use the tokens like for purchases, and 60% of them are more likely to use tokens to pay small businesses for their goods and services. And 82 of them use tokens like an existing loyalty program. We can see right now the many companies experience when they give the possibility to their clients to use their tokens like a loyalty program. But if we will allow to companies tokenize their equity and tokenize their assets, and we give possibility to their clients buy that assets and use them like or get them from like a loyalty program from the companies, that give like really big boost for economy. You can make a photo of that slide. The other numbers also, like I will tell you about them. There is 78% willing to use token with the companies their trust, because if you go on the coffee shop near to your home each day and buying coffee, and you can and you're thinking that it's good opportunity to buy the shares of that coffee shop, that will be amazing in the future, because this is give the possibility to businesses attract investments easily, and this is give the possibilities to people put the investments in that businesses what they are like. This is most important thing what we trying to bring to the cryptocurrency world with the assets tokenization. Also, all of us need to understand there is I am talking too much about talking too much about cryptocurrency and the and blockchain assets tokenization based on the blockchain is because the blockchain boosts the economy, and the economy gives to boosts through the blockchain infrastructure. When we give the possibility to people make transactions easily, and when we give the possibility to people make transactions more transparently. So if, for example, if you right now try to send your assets or like sell your asset to somebody, you have a lot of paperwork and a lot of stuff needs to do. But with the blockchain, we can give the possibility to send the assets from one person to second person without any problems, because all that stuff regulated by, not regulated by the people, but regulated by the algorithms. And if we decrease the amount of the time what we need to spend for sending some assets or transfer the ownership of that assets, that boosts economy really well, because like all economy built on the transaction speed. And everybody knows that currently problems in the blockchain, in the many blockchains, is the transaction speed, and that problems is just because we need to improve the transaction speed for boost the growth of the blockchain industry. And there is a few numbers to you, like I try to show why we think there is the digital assets is the next future, because if we look back for 40 years, when the most of assets in the world was tangible, and then in 1975, the first companies start their businesses, I mean, first technology companies start their businesses, and in 40 years, until 2018, I'm sorry about the old information, but that's all what we found. Yeah, the most of assets converted from physical into intangible, and the intangible assets domination become more seen than ever before. And if we look on the cryptocurrency market, we see there is like cryptocurrency market also grows really fast. And for example, in 2021, already more than $70 billion already invested in cryptocurrency market, and this also boosts the liquidity on that market. And by our predictions is the main number on that slide is here. You can see this is the gross domestic product, what can be tokenized, and this is the gross domestic product what already tokenized in current year. We're talking about all gross domestic product of the whole world, and right now until 2027 that percent will be about 10. And when we look on the market, like global market, and compare it with the digital assets capitalization market, there is about $2.2 trillion. We will see that there's like big potential to growth for those kind of market. And when we are talking about tokenization for small and medium enterprises, we're understanding there is 4 million businesses in the world currently and 50% of them has some financial challenges. And we try and we understand there is $5.2 trillion unmet financial needs for those businesses, and we're sure there is enough money in the world, but that money we're saving on our bank accounts and not investing in some assets because we don't have the possibility. And like the assets tokenization give that to us. And there is few tips for businesses what help to them make their assets tokenization. Of course, this is the improving the knowledge about blockchain and cryptocurrency world. The second one, the conduct the audit is the one of the steps of the assets tokenization, what we do for our companies, what we are working for. Of course, redesign the technical infrastructure. We're helping with that. And enhance your customer loyalty. And of course, develop the legal framework. What about our previous speaker talking? And the key features of the future of economy is the assets, ownership, and digitalization. So in the last few words, if you have some business what you would like to tokenize, or any token what you want to list on our exchange, you can contact with me directly. And I'm really thank you for attention and waiting for your questions.
Big round of applause. Big round of applause. Oleg, thank you. That was excellent and well presented. Maybe I'll just open to the floor if we have any questions for Oleg or his thesis on digital assets and the rise of tokenization.
Thank you for an excellent presentation. Thanks, Oleg.
Thank you.
A very fundamental, trivial question, maybe. Where you refer to tokenizing equity,
yeah.
Is it realistic to be able to remove the middleman or the intermediary, given the extent of regulation there is when it comes to securities such as equity, and tokenizing that?
Yeah, if we're talking about the current step, when we are the middlemen who are helping to attract the businesses into the digital world. But in the future, there is like our goal to remove that middleman and give the possibility to people and the businesses convert their assets by themselves through the platform or blockchain infrastructure into digital form and sell it to the people. Yeah, if we're talking about the legal structure, how it's working right now, we have a fund in the Europe, and we help to companies like tokenize their assets through the fund. So, like they sell in the equity to the fund, and fund produce the tokens and share it to the people. And then people can transfer tokens to each other or selling it on our exchange very easily by in few seconds.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Oleg, maybe it's something that I'm quite interested in.
Yeah.
As we continue to see more M&A activity in the space, and incumbents now looking at the digital asset space, and in particularly projects which may have a token, how in the future will M&A activity happen? Will it happen at the token layer, or will it happen with the actual equity in a project or company if there was one? Like how does acquisitions take place? Is it at the equity level or at the token level, or would there be a blend of both?
That depends on the company, but we're working with the equity because equity is the valuable of the business. And but we see there is like we're receiving the requests from different businesses for tokenize not just equity but their assets, because the equity is one of the kind of assets. And currently we have a company who would like to tokenize their ship, because they're working like a transportation company, logistic company, and they saying, okay, we would like to tokenize our ship, but also we can tokenize our equity. And we're saying to them on that time, on the current period, that like we should start from the equity, and then we will go down to the ship. Because if we will see on the experience of stock market, for example, like the big companies have like their sub companies who are also doing the IPO, and they're also listed on the exchanges. This is the this is the compare history, you know, like, and that working by the same way. But if we are talking about the stock market, we cannot give the possibility to people transfer their assets and equity easily, and on the blockchain, we will allow them to do that.
Well, thank you so much. Really privileged to have you on stage today.
Yeah,
Big warm thank you to Oleg. Thank you, sir. Thank you.